This young woman, 23-year-old Jasmine Headley, is still in custody at Rikers Island in New York. And Brianna, it's because of a warrant out of New Jersey for credit card fraud.
All right, Jean Casarez, thank you so much. Heartbreaking video there. That is it for me. Newsroom with Brooke Baldwin starts now.
Brianna will take it. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Brooke Baldwin. Thanks for being with me. It is becoming increasingly clear that Robert Mueller's walls are closing in directly on the president and his inner circle, including, for the first time, prosecutors are now implicating the president of the United States in a felony. And it's all thanks to his one-time fixer, Michael Cohen, and the hush money he paid to those two women alleging affairs with then candidate Trump. But Cohen isn't the only one causing headaches for the West Wing today. I give you Paul Manafort, the former campaign chairman accused of lying to the special counsel 5 different times. Now, Manafort denies it. Team Mueller says it has proof. And CNN has confirmed that at least 16 people in Trump's world have had contacts with the Russians. 16, despite the president saying this last year.
I have nothing to do with Russia. To the best of my knowledge, no person that I deal with does.
So what does this mean for the president politically, legally? Will he be indicted? Can he even be indicted? A long-standing view at the Justice Department says that it is not possible for a sitting president. So would he be impeached? Democrats seem to be walking a fine line, perhaps waiting for Mueller to issue his final report. And at least one person who has been at very public odds with the president thinks maybe we should all hit pause on the impeachment talk, at least for now. Here is James Comey during an appearance at New York City's 92nd Street Y just last night.
I hope Donald Trump is not removed from office by impeachment, because it would let the country off the hook. And it would drive into the fabric of our nation a third of the people believing there was a coup. And we need a moment of inflection where we all get off the couch and say, that is not who we are, and in a landslide, rid ourselves of this attack on our values.
CNN politics reporter and editor-at-large Chris Cillizza is with me now. And Chris Cillizza, let's start here. What specifically led prosecutors to allege that the president is involved in a felony, and what lies is Manafort accused of telling?
Okay, Brooke, so let's go through it, because Friday and the whole last week got us into a lot of things. So there are 3 basic buckets, and we're going to start with fraud. Now, this is Cohen, Trump. The allegation here is that Donald Trump, and this is the Southern District of New York believes this. Michael Cohen has pled guilty to it. Donald Trump has denied it, just for context's sake. That Donald Trump directed and coordinated those payments to both Stormy Daniels, the pornographic actress, as well as Karen McDougal, the former Playboy playmate, both of whom were alleging that they had affairs with Donald Trump in the mid-2000s, that Trump directed and coordinated those payments in the course of the 2016 campaign. And you cannot do that if you're a federal candidate, because it amounts to an in-kind contribution to your campaign. So we got some clarity on that. Let's go to the next bucket, and this is obstruction. Here's Paul Manafort. So Manafort, convicted by a jury of his peers on a number of counts, but then pled guilty before a second trial. Okay, well, it turns out, and we learned about this late Friday, that Manafort has repeatedly broken the terms of his plea agreement, most notably, Brooke, by being in contact with Trump lawyers and Trump officials about what Mueller is working on. So fraud, obstruction, and let's go up to the last one. Okay. Conspiracy. So this, broadly speaking, I would say is the Russia interference probe. Maria Butina, who was arrested as an alleged spy, has now cut a plea agreement. We don't know what's in the plea agreement. We know that there is a plea agreement expected to be announced tomorrow. Now, she's accused, at least, of cozying up to top government officials to further Russia's influence in the election. We obviously know, thanks to the intelligence community in the U.S., that Russia sought to interfere in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump and to hurt Hillary Clinton. So 3 buckets: fraud, obstruction, election interference, broadly writ. And that's sort of where, when you say the walls are closing in, it's also getting clear. The picture is clearing up a little bit about where, and this is a combination of the Mueller special counsel, which is here and here, and the Southern District of New York, which is this one.
So, pushing it ahead, the 16 Trump associates that we're reporting, you know, which is in stark contrast to the 0 that the president had said, you know, in touch with Russians. Who are we talking about?
Well, okay. First of all, let me make a broad point. There's no proven fire other than on the campaign finance violations as it relates to Donald Trump.
Yep.
What there is a lot of smoke, and what this represents is all that smoke. You'll notice here's 1, 2, 3 people who are directly related to Donald Trump. His eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., and his eldest daughter, Ivanka. Jared Kushner, both of these two serve in the White House. Obviously, Jared Kushner married her. We've gone over Cohen. We've gone over Manafort. Papadopoulos, we know, George Papadopoulos, former foreign policy advisor, who started the entire investigation when, in the night of drinking in London, he bragged to an Australian diplomat that the Russians had dirt on Hillary Clinton. That's what triggered all this. But look, Michael Flynn was the national security advisor. Jeff Sessions was the attorney general. These are not, as Trump famously described Papadopoulos, coffee boys by and large. These are family members and absolutely, in the most part, senior either campaign officials or administration officials. Gosh, there's a lot of smoke here, Brooke.
Yeah, smoke. But, you know, they're looking into everyone. Chris Cillizza, thank you. Here in New York, Michael Cohen's revelations are sparking renewed scrutiny of the Trump family business. The New York Times is reporting the federal prosecutors are honing in on what executives in the Trump organization knew about Cohen's payments, including one who was granted immunity in the investigation just over the summer. So with me now, one of the reporters behind this story, William Rashbaum. And William, it's nice to have you on. And what a piece. I mean, you know, now that you essentially have Cohen in the rearview mirror, what is next for SDNY, for Southern District of New York? Who are they looking at?
Well, Brooke, we understand they're looking at other executives at the company who trying to determine whether or not they knew about the actions that were taken that form the substance of the campaign finance crimes that Mr. Cohen pled guilty to.
Are we talking specifically family members, Weisselberg? Obviously, he had the immunity, those kinds of people?
Well, I think that our story said that they were interested in what precisely Mr. Weisselberg knew. I think they're looking at what some other people knew. We weren't in a position to say precisely who those people were or are.
We've said, you know, the prevailing view in the Justice Department is that you cannot indict a sitting president. But what are the options at the state level, both now and once Trump leaves the White House?
Well, at the federal level, he could still be charged if he leaves, if he's not reelected in 2020. The campaign finance violations would still be within the statute of limitations. He could theoretically be charged at that time if there is sufficient evidence for them to bring a case against him. As far as possible state crimes involving the company or other executives at the company, I think that there were state prosecutors who started looking into that around the time of Mr. Cohen's guilty plea. They got waived off at the time by federal prosecutors, and you know, that's where we left off.
William Rashbaum, thank you so much. I want to stay on what we've been discussing. You know, can the President of the United States face prison time? Listen to Democrat Adam Schiff, whose opinion will carry even more weight in less than a month when he's expected to take charge of the House Intelligence Committee.
There's a very real prospect that on the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him, that he may be the first president in quite some time to face the real prospect of jail time. We have been discussing the issue of pardons that the president may offer to people or dangle in front of people. The bigger pardon question may come down the road as the next president has to determine whether to pardon Donald Trump.
With me now, Paul Rosenzweig served as Deputy Assistant Secretary for Policy for the Department of Homeland Security. He is now Senior Editor at the Journal of National Security Law and Policy. Paul, nice to see you, sir. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Let me start with one more piece of sound, and then we'll chat. I want to play this. This is from another incoming House Chairman, Jerry Nadler, likely to lead the Judiciary Committee. He disagrees with the premise we've all been hearing that a sitting president cannot be indicted. Here he was.
There's no reason to think that the president should not be indicted. The reason given by the Office of Legal Counsel is that it would take up too much of his time. He couldn't do his job. But, you know, the Constitution specifically allows an impeachment. That certainly takes up a lot of time for the president. So I don't agree that a president can't be indicted.
So, Paul, can you just clear this up for all of us? Can a sitting president be indicted?
Well, I can't clear it up because nobody's ever been indicted, so we've never tested the question. I think the easiest way to answer it is this. The Department of Justice policy says that a president can't be indicted, and Robert Mueller works for the Department of Justice. He's going to follow that policy, I predict, and that means that whether or not, as a theoretical matter, he can be, he probably won't be. And I think that Congressman Schiff has it right, that the real jeopardy for the president, President Trump, if any, will come the day after he leaves office.
Schiff also said Trump could face, quoting him, Trump could face the real prospect of jail time, and he's referencing those illegal hush money payments. And so my question is, what constitutes an impeachable offense? Can you define that for me?
Well, that's an interesting question. Gerald Ford famously said that an impeachable offense is whatever the House of Representatives says it is. But classically, we've come to think of high crimes as misdemeanors, as acts by the president that either A, violate serious federal criminal law, or B, call into question his ability to serve as president. One of the examples that the founders gave, for example, was this emoluments clause that we've been hearing about so much. If a president took foreign bribes, Edmund Randolph said that a president who violated the emoluments clause would be impeached. George Mason said that a president who violated the pardon power and abused it to protect himself should be impeached. So those are examples of things that are clearly impeachable offenses. What the outer limit is, who knows?
We don't know. What about the other piece that's maybe complicating this is the statute of limitations, Paul, on Trump's campaign finance violation. We know it's 5 years, meaning this happened in 2016, and you do the math, and if Trump wins re-election for another 4 years, by the time he would walk out of the White House in 2024, the statute of limitations would run out. Is re-election Trump's get-out-of-jail-free card?
Well, for offenses whose statute of limitations would expire in his second term, it possibly is. There might be an answer in terms of seeking an indictment and then staying it and keeping it sealed and unsealing it only upon his end of his term. But if you really believe that a president is not indictable while he's sitting in office, then you have to acknowledge the possibility that there may be some crimes for which he's just going to get away scot-free.
Paul Rosenzweig, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Coming up next, it is normally considered one of the most highly sought-after jobs in all of the White House, but these are not normal times. Why President Trump seems to be having difficulty replacing his chief of staff, John Kelly. And Jamal Khashoggi's final words now out in the open, what a source says is on that tape of his murder. And Jehovah's Witnesses in one state targeted in at least 5 separate attacks. Is there a serial arsonist on the loose? You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin.
No matter how much you clean, does your house still smell stuffy? That's because your home is filled with soft surfaces that trap odors and release them back into the room. So try Febreze Fabric Refresher. Febreze finds odors trapped in fabrics and cleans them away as it dries. Use Febreze every time you tidy up to keep your whole house smelling fresh air clean. Fabric Refresher even works for clothes you want to wear another day. Make Febreze part of your clean routine for whole home freshness.
I'm Alex Trebek, here to tell you about the Colonial Penn program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
The 3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, and price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 65 and take medications. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you, too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular whole life insurance plan, available through the Colonial Penn program. It has an affordable rate starting at $9.95 a month. No medical exam, no health questions. Your acceptance is guaranteed. And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, so your rate can never go up for any reason. And with this plan, you can pick your payment date, so you can time your premium due date to work with your budget. So call now for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. And it's yours just for calling. So call now.
Call 1-800-775-6214 for your free information and your free gift. That number again is 1-800-775-6214. Call now.
We were a few days away from the ATMs not working.
Suddenly, folks are getting wiped out.
I asked her we headed for a Great Depression, and Bernanke said, you know, it looks like way.
Congress can't get it together. There was fear, and we did it without a playbook. The fact that the American public hates what we did is not surprising, because in many ways it's un-American.
Anyone can retire, but retire well? That's different. At Fisher Investments, we spent 40 years helping people achieve a comfortable retirement. All that experience is yours free in our Guide to a Comfortable Retirement. It gives you what our advisors share with our clients, plus valuable experience from our clients as they enter retirement. And it's yours free.
Call now for your free retirement guide with insights from legendary money manager Ken Fisher. Call
1-800-759-4477. At Fisher, it's in our interest to help you do better. The better you do, the better we do. If you have more than $500,000 to invest, talk to us.
You'll also receive as a bonus our Stock Market Outlook, a timely assessment of where the market goes from here. Also free. Call 1-800-759-4477.
A comfortable retirement isn't just a place you get to. You have to make it happen. We can help.
Call 1-800-759-4477.
I'd like to take a moment to address my fellow veterans, because I know so many of you have served our country honorably. One of the benefits that we as a country give you as a veteran is the eligibility for a VA loan for up to 100% of your home's value. If you need cash for your family, call New Day USA. With automatic authority from the VA, we can say yes when banks say no. Give us a call.
Call 1-866-704-6442.
Closed captioning brought to you by OnlyMeso.com.
Mesothelioma, it's all we do. With 7 offices across the country, let us come meet with you. Call us at 1-800-213-8000.
Within the White House, the chief of staff is usually a highly sought-after job. It's the chance to run the West Wing, steer the course of history. And right now, that job is open, with John Kelly stepping down in 21 days and replacing him proving to be difficult. Nick Ayers was the front runner. He's now turned down the job. The others on the short list include Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, Budget Chief Mick Mulvaney, and Republican Congressman Mark Meadows. Mnuchin and Mulvaney are making it known they are not interested. The same was also reported about Meadows, but now he is telling CNN it would be an incredible honor to serve. Whoever gets the job will inherit a West Wing in crisis. Among the myriad challenges, everything from the Russia investigation, this new Democratic House come January, to impeachment drama, and the challenge of keeping Trump in check. So with me now, Jen Psaki, former White House Communications Director under President Obama. Jen, nice to see you.
Great to see you.
You know, as I pointed out, and you well know this, having worked in the White House, this is a big gig. This is a job normally people like stand in line for, right? And I'm wondering, as far as all these no's, do you think it's Trump? Do you think it's the nightmare scenario that this person would be walking into? Or do you think it's all of the above?
It's all of the above, Brooke, is my best guess. And if you look at the high-level individuals he's considering or who've been put out there publicly, they're looking at the White House now, and they know a couple of dynamics are at play. One is the Mueller investigation seems to be closing in on a circle closer to President Trump. And that's certainly concerning and not something you want to leap into as a future chief of staff. And the second is, for the last few chiefs of staff, they've seen this playbook before. Usually there's a short honeymoon period where the chief of staff enjoys the confidence of the president. And then after that, they're completely destroyed by the president. And it's a unique circumstance that we are all watching here for a variety of reasons. But one is that high-level people who are serving in the White House in this administration are leaving not with their reputations elevated, but their reputations really diminished. And I think most of these people look at that and they know this would be a tough spot to walk into.
You also make the point that Trump is surrounding himself with yes men and yes women. What's the danger in doing that?
There's a big danger, Brooke. And look, for all of Trump's faults, he's not the first president to do a version of this, but what he's done is he has created the team around him that he wants, which means to him, people who are going to nod their head and say yes to whatever he wants to do. And if you are a high-level cabinet member, if you are a senior advisor in the White House, your job is to stand up to the president respectfully, but tell them when there's something they can't do because it's wrong or it won't play well. And it seems in this case it's illegal. And what he's doing is, in the national security team, he's surrounded himself with people who have a similar military-first view of international policy. He's looking for people who are going to simply agree with his positions, and that's dangerous because he's clearly doesn't have an understanding of and has a problematic understanding of the law and international diplomacy, both of them.
You know Rahm Emanuel, President Obama's former
I
chief
do.
of staff, now mayor of Chicago. He pinned this opinion piece essentially arguing that Trump doesn't actually want a chief of staff. And he also, by the way, said other presidents wouldn't either. You know, they want to be able to do everything at all times, but you need to have a gatekeeper. And this is what he said specifically. Does someone need to impose order on the West Wing? The answer is obvious. But it wouldn't matter whom you put in the job, George Patton, Angelo Dundee, Judge Judy, Darth Vader, if the president is going to outsource significant authority to Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, and other staffers, and allow them to report directly to him, no chief of staff can perform the role as other presidents have utilized it. Is that a fair assessment?
That's fair. It's also nearly impossible to serve in any of these public-facing roles in this White House because Trump takes his own counsel. He's his own chief of staff in some ways. He's his own press secretary. And this is a role that I think anyone who's on the outside who understands how it functions would know you're setting yourself up for failure, which is one of the reasons that I think it's so difficult for him to fill the position.
How would you characterize, it's not only what he's potentially doing or not doing with this position. You know, it seems like it's almost like he's drastically redefining these top tier positions within the government. You know, no formal communications director, downgrading the UN ambassador, someone with much less on her resume. What is the net effect of doing that, Jen?
It really diminishes your capacity to govern, and that means it diminishes your ability to get laws passed, it diminishes your ability to run the country, it diminishes your ability to drive the agenda internationally, because if a president of the United States, Trump aside, but in general, staffs, their cabinet members, their high-level advisors with people they trust, then they're really relying on them to be ambassadors to the world, ambassadors to the country. And not only does Trump have terrible and illegal at times judgment, but he's also limiting his capacity to be impactful. And that's really a huge detriment to the White House and to his ability even to get his own agenda done.
Jen Psaki, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming up next, a CNN exclusive, Jamal Khashoggi's last words. Painful to hear, but so important for the world to know what the transcript reveals about who was there in his final moments. And another huge story the world is watching right now as the U.S. markets react to news out of the United Kingdom. We'll take a look at what's at stake if this Brexit deal falls through.
We are rebellious, trendsetters, one of a kind. We are what we wear. American Style, coming in January on CNN.
Missed out on this? Don't worry. The biggest deal is happening right now at T-Mobile. When you buy one of the latest Samsung phones, you get a free 50-inch Samsung 4K TV. Seriously? No! T-Mobile is giving you a free 50-inch TV.
Holy, gotta be kidding.
This deal won't last long, so get your free Samsung TV at a T-Mobile store today.
Luis?
Stephanie? Hola.
Opportunity is everywhere. Like here, where you can explore the world, knowing you can always find your way home.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
I've never slept better in my life. What's better than a great night's sleep?
Sleep is one of the most important things for your health, and I've always said that MyPillow is one of the most important things to your sleep. And now a recent clinical sleep study proved it. It proved you get less sleep interruptions on MyPillow. It increases your restorative deep sleep. It helps reduce your snoring, and it improves the oxygen levels to help you wake up feeling refreshed. And there's so much more.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow changed my life because it gave me a restful night's sleep, one that I had not had before.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
MyPillow works because my patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it helps keep your neck supported and aligned.
So it comes as no surprise that the same research study also showed that a full 78% of sleep study participants showed improvement in their sleep. Every MyPillow is made in the USA. It's machine washable and dryable, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. So if you want to fall asleep faster, get deep restorative sleep, have less snoring interruptions, and wake up feeling more refreshed, don't wait another minute. Order your very own MyPillow now.
I personally guarantee that MyPillow will be the most comfortable pillow you'll ever own, or your money back.
Call or go to MyPillow.com now. Use this promo code and Mike will give you a second MyPillow absolutely free. That's right, 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Are you ready for it? Yeah! Woo! It's like CNN gone wild.
TMI, too much.
Out where I live, some people think it's hard to get high-speed internet. But it's easy with HughesNet. HughesNet is satellite internet, perfect for people like me in places like this. And HughesNet Gen 5 is better than ever.
It's fast, so you can finally have the speed you need. And with unlimited data, you can do even more online. Plus, there's built-in Wi-Fi, so you can get online from wherever you're most comfortable.
You even get free standard installation and a price lock guarantee.
Hey, Bob.
Now that's a good deal. We love where we live. And with HughesNet, we have it all. Right here at home.
Get HughesNet where you live today. For a limited time, standard installation is free, so don't wait. To order, call 1-800-661-7302. That's 1-800-661-7302. Call now.
This is CNN, the most trusted name in news.
The CIA briefed key U.S. senators on its assessment of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi's murder, and the senators were horrified and said so very publicly. And now a source has given CNN a briefing on a transcript of an audio recording of Khashoggi's final moments. And CNN's Nick Robertson was provided with details of the translated transcript reproduced in this report of that audio. And what it does is it correlates with the CIA finding that the Saudi team sent to Istanbul came with the intent to kill.
CNN can now reveal Jamal Khashoggi's last words. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. These previously undisclosed details of what happened that afternoon in October come from a source who's been briefed on the investigation. The source has read a full transcript of an audio recording of Khashoggi's horrific final moments. Within moments of his fateful steps into the consulate, Khashoggi recognizes someone, asks why they are there. The answer, "You are coming back." According to CNN's source, the Turkish transcript identifies that person as Mahir Abdulaziz Mutreb, a former Saudi diplomat and intelligence official working for Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, whom Khashoggi knew. Khashoggi is clearly alarmed and replies, "You can't do that. People are waiting outside for me." According to the source, the conversation ends right there. The transcript indicates noises as people set upon Khashoggi. And very quickly, Khashoggi can be heard saying, "I can't breathe." He repeats it again, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." What happens belies initial Saudi claims. His death was a grave mistake. CNN's source says it's clear from his reading of the transcript Khashoggi's murder was no botched rendition attempt, but the execution of a premeditated plan to murder the journalist. But it is what happens next that is really horrific. The transcript records many voices and noises, then says scream from Jamal, again scream, then gasping. Noises are identified as saw and cutting. Then a voice Turkish authorities identify as Dr. Saleh Mohammed Al-Tubaiki, the head of forensic medicine at Saudi Arabia's Interior Ministry. He says, "If you don't like the noise, put your earphones in or listen to music like me." According to the source, Mutreb, the apparent leader of the team, makes at least 3 phone calls during the murder to a number Turkish officials identify as being in the Saudi royal court. Only Mutreb's side of the conversation can be heard, but there is no sense of panic or of an operation gone wrong. Mutreb tells the person in Riyadh, "Tell yours," that the source takes to mean your boss or your senior, "the thing is done. It's done." CNN reached out to Saudi officials to get a response from those named in this report and were told Saudi security officials have reviewed the transcript and tape, and nowhere in them is there any reference or indication of a call being made. A Saudi source close to the Saudi investigation says both Mutreb and Tubaiki deny making phone calls. And while the transcript provides no smoking gun directly tying Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the killing, it seems to echo Senator Lindsey Graham's sentiments after hearing the CIA's assessment of Khashoggi's killing. There's not a smoking gun, there's a smoking saw. Nick Robertson, CNN, London.
CNN shared our source's detailed description with the office of a senator who was briefed by the CIA last week. We were told that the CNN report of the transcript was consistent with the briefing that the senator received. Coming up next, 5 different attacks, all targeting Jehovah's Witness worship centers, the new clues to find a potential serial arsonist. Also breaking today, the woman accused of being a Russian spy and infiltrating Republican circles appearing to have reached a plea deal. Stand by for those details.
Burnett, Cooper, Cuomo, Lemon. The best primetime lineup is only on CNN.
Those who don't remember or don't care about the truth of their own history are prone to rewrite it.
Tonight, starting at 7.
Having moderate to severe plaque psoriasis is not always easy. It's a long-distance journey, and you have the determination to keep going. Humira has a proven track record of being prescribed for over 10 years. Humira works inside the body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to symptoms. Most adults taking Humira were clear or almost clear, and many saw 75% and even 90% clearance in just 4 months, and the kind of clearance that can last.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Join over 250,000 patients who have chosen Humira. Ask about the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists. Humira and go.
Looking good.
At Booking.com, we can't guarantee you'll be good at that water jet thingy, but we can guarantee the best price on this hotel or any accommodation from homes to yurts. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
There's only one you, with your own goals and motivations, your own definition of healthy and happy. So let's learn your capabilities, and I'll adapt. From beginner to athlete, with personalized workouts to find the right fit for you. I am Max, the breakthrough fitness intelligence platform only on the new Bowflex Max Trainer. Order by the 18th for Christmas delivery at Bowflex.com.
Claiming her destiny made her powerful.
She is only your queen if I should not produce an heir.
Claiming her crown
We bring an heir to England.
made her a threat.
Should you murder me, you murder your queen.
Mary, Queen of Scots, rated R.
Have you been told you need neck or back surgery? If so, you do have a choice. Call Laser Spine Institute and say yes to a pain-free life with our minimally invasive spine surgery. It's safer than open back surgery, letting you get back to living life on your terms.
I can lift my son high over my head again.
If you have spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic spine conditions,
call 1-800-216-BACK now for your free MRI review.
Thanks to a less than 1-inch incision, you'll be up and walking within hours of surgery, so you can get back to your life in days instead of months.
I feel like Laser Spine Institute was an answer to prayer.
Join the thousands of people every year who say goodbye to chronic neck and back pain with Laser Spine Institute. Make today the day you say yes to living a pain-free life.
Call 1-800-216-BACK now for your free MRI review.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
Closed captioning brought to you by Sokolov Law. Call 800-891-5400 today.
Mesothelioma victims, call now. $30 billion in trust money has been set aside. You may be entitled to a portion of that money. Call 1-800-891-5400. That's 1-800-891-5400.
Up and down, the Dow's roller coaster continues after a terrible week in the red. The Dow is now essentially flat after dropping more than 500 points this morning on the news of Britain's Prime Minister Theresa May that she delayed a crucial vote on her Brexit deal.
It is clear that while there is broad support for many of the key aspects of the deal, on one issue, the Northern Ireland backstop, there remains widespread and deep concern. As a result, if we went ahead and held the vote tomorrow, the deal would be rejected by a significant margin. We will therefore defer the vote scheduled for tomorrow and not proceed to divide the House at this time.
The responses in Parliament, it's stunning. In response, the president of the European Council says the EU will not renegotiate the deal and stresses time is running out. The majority of English voters cast ballots, British voters cast ballots to leave the EU back in June of 2016. And now almost 18 months later, Britain's leaders still cannot agree on how to leave. With me, CNN business editor-at-large Richard Quest. She put this vote off today.
Yep.
Because she knows she'll lose.
Oh, it was a racing certainty she was going to lose. She didn't have the votes. Not only was all the opposition parties going to gang up on her and vote against those that she needs, but many of her own her own backbenchers of her own party. And unlike the US, where it is not unusual for members of the House to vote against their own party, in the UK, in the British Parliament, if it's a 3-line whip, you're voting as the government dictates. And they wouldn't do it, so she was going to lose. But here's the real problem, Brooke. She's lost, or she's now got this flimsy deal that she's got to go back to Europe and say, we need to change something so that we can get this through my own parliament. And Europe is going to quite not unreasonably say, hang on, the time for negotiation was over.
Right.
You've got the deal, you agreed to the deal, you signed the deal, now live with it.
How much longer do you give her?
As Prime Minister, she's a stickler. She'll stay.
Yeah.
She could stay. She could stay the course. And for one particular reason, there's nobody else, frankly. I mean, it's nobody else waiting that could take this up. The real issue here, Northern Ireland, there is no easy solution to North and South Ireland. And they can tinker with this as much as they like, Brooke, but they're always going to come down to the question of no hard border, therefore what do you do?
Sure.
And they can't find an answer. And I've got news for you. They're not going to find an answer. Sure. Somebody's going to have to fudge.
Let me move off Brexit and ask you about, we're just getting word from a courtroom in Vancouver, Canada, that the Chinese executive Meng Wanzhou, lawyer, she was the one who was arrested the same night that President Trump was having that dinner with President Xi. So lawyers asking she is released on bail. Obviously, China's angry. There's this tenuous truce. How do you see this?
So they've asked for her to be released on bail with some extremely complicated conditions. For example, the bracelet, she'll have security. In fact, the head of the security company said, we will have eyes on her as long as, whenever she is outside her house. My own thinking is that she probably will get some sort of bail. It's not it's a criminal offence that she's been charged with, but it's not a violent offence. To the best of our knowledge, she's had no previous. The only issue is she likely to abscond?
Right.
But you've got the Justice Department going after her at the same time as Donald Trump's trying to do a truce. Her company is a talisman in China, the second largest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world. So they love what she's doing. They love what's happening there and Huawei. So taking her on, let's watch this play out, because what I can see happening is I can see the Chinese basically saying to the president, there is no further talk on this
until you let her go.
Well, sort this out.
Sort it out. Richard Quest, until we meet again, thank you very much. Thank you. James Comey, certainly not holding back, calling on Americans to use every breath they have to oust President Trump in 2020. His words ahead. And the video is being called appalling. New York City police officers ripping this 1-year-old little boy out of his mother's arms. What exactly led to this disturbing scene? We'll be right back.
It's every municipal bond investor's dream. A bright, shining city on a hill. A place where there won't be any economic, financial, or political problems. So you never worry about getting your principal and interest paid on time. But what if the city you've chosen doesn't live up to that dream? That's why investors turn to Assured Guaranty. We have a long history, a proven track record, and a wealth of financial resources. So if something does go wrong, we'll make it right. Assured Guaranty, a stronger bond.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Please have snow and mistletoe and presents on the tree.
Right now, all over the country, kids at Shriners Hospitals for Children are able to go home and be with their families for the holidays. And that's only possible because of the monthly donations from people like you.
When you call the number on your screen today and just give $19 a month, you'll be helping countless children get the care they need to go home for Christmas.
With your gift of just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, we'll send you this adorable Love to the Rescue blanket as a thank you, and a reminder of the care you'll be providing so kids can be with their families.
It only takes a moment to call the number on your screen, or you can visit loveshriners.org to help other kids just like me be with their families this Christmas.
Because every child just wants to be home for the holidays, and your gift makes that possible.
Your call is the best gift of all.
Your gift will be my favorite Christmas present this year.
Thank you for giving.
Please call the number on your screen. If operators are busy, please call again or go to loveshriners.org to give whatever you can. Thank you for giving.
This report just in. Absolutely incorrect.
We really need to get away to the mini getaway sales event and get more into the wild. More out into the world. Have more fun tearing up more roads. Like this, this, and this. In the new year, pack in more amazing memories. And experience more of what matters. Race in for the mini getaway sales event and get up to $1,000 off select mini models.
Are you ready for it? Yeah! It's like CNN gone wild.
TMI. Too much.
We're all getting older. There's no turning back the clock, right? But why should you have to leave your home because you can't get up the stairs?
Don't struggle on the stairs and risk a fall. Stair lifts were made to make your life easier and safer.
Acorn Stairlifts has been helping people stay in their homes for over 20 years, and they would be honored to help you too.
Acorn Stairlifts is America's #1 stairlift. Sit, relax, and ride up and down the stairs safely. Don't risk a dangerous fall or settle for living in just half your home.
If you're uncertain about staying in your own home, you owe it to yourself to call the number on your screen right now.
Don't wait until it's too late. Remove the risk of falling on the stairs. Call now for your free information kit, stairlift buying guide, and no obligation quote from Acorn Stairlifts. Call 1-800-908-3414 or visit acornstairlifts.com. That's 1-800-908-3414.
The Lead with Jake Tapper. Today starting at 4 Eastern on CNN.
In Pittsburgh, police are investigating the discovery of anti-Semitic pamphlets that have been passed out in several neighborhoods there, and that includes the area of Squirrel Hill, the site of October's deadly synagogue shooting. City leaders are taking the matter very seriously. 11 people were killed inside Squirrel Hill's Tree of Life synagogue just before Saturday morning Shabbat services were slated to begin. Members of the Pittsburgh Jewish community say this is the latest hate-filled incident that has everyone on high alert.
We're all a little more nervous around these kinds of things. We're all at a little heightened sensitivity since the shooting on October 27th. We're stronger than hate, and the way this community rallies, I think this is just going to bring everyone closer together once again.
The suspected gunman in the October attack has pleaded not guilty to 44 federal charges, including 32 that are punishable by death. Federal authorities fear someone may be targeting houses of worship for Jehovah's Witnesses in Washington state. Investigators say Friday morning someone set fire to Kingdom Hall in the town of Lacey, which is a suburb of Olympia. The flames totally destroyed the building, and thankfully no one was hurt.
It's devastating for sure, but you know, it's just a building. So everybody's safe, and that's the important thing.
It makes you feel really ill about somebody who has some sort of animosity towards any religion.
Nick Watt is following this for us, and so 5th time, Nick, since a Jehovah's Witness congregation may have been targeted. Are police connecting the dots?
Well, Brooke, they are, and they are coming out and saying that this latest attack on Friday was definitely arson. This was a purposeful attack on that Kingdom Hall, and they are saying that all of these attacks are connected. Listen, you've got 5 attacks on Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Halls within less than 9 months, and also within less than a 20-mile radius. And the sheriff, who we just heard from there, is calling this a hate crime, as he just said, you know, driven by some sort of animosity towards this Christian denomination. no idea exactly what the specific motive is, but as I say, they are treating this as a hate crime. Now, the first attack was back on March 19th when Kingdom Halls in Olympia and Tumwater, which is a suburb of Olympia, they were attacked. There was just minor damage. Then May 15th, shots were fired. 35 shots fired at a Kingdom Hall in a place called Yelm, $10,000 damage there. Then July 3rd, that Kingdom Hall in Olympia was attacked again, and this time it was burnt to the ground. Now, there is some surveillance video from that attack, but the authorities tell us that they do not have a name on a suspect. They say that tips did lead them to a person of interest. That person has been interviewed, but there is absolutely no connection established between him and those attacks. So the motive still remains unclear. Listen, Jehovah's Witnesses have been criticized in the past in this country and overseas for the fact that they refuse to salute national flags. They refuse to serve in the military because they serve only God. But as I say, we do not yet know what the motive was in this attack. Now, I heard from the Jehovah's Witnesses themselves, and they gave us this statement. They say Jehovah's Witnesses work hard to be a force for good in their community, so violent acts like this are difficult to comprehend. Now, authorities up there in the Olympia area are saying, listen, they want people to look out for anyone whose behavior has changed significantly over the past few months, or whose appearance has changed, or for anybody who's really showing an unnatural interest in this investigation. They are asking people to be vigilant. They are asking for tips. They want to find this person who is still at large. As we say, 5 attacks so far, a suspect not yet in custody. Brooke.
If you see something, say something. So say police. Nick Watt, thank you very much. We'll stay on that in Washington State. She is accused of being a Russian spy, infiltrating Republican political circles within the U.S., but Maria Butina may be close to spilling her secrets. Hear why ahead. And a surprising move by the U.S. Supreme Court today, siding with Planned Parenthood. Hear why Chief Justice John Roberts and the new Justice Brett Kavanaugh appeared to side with the court's liberal justices.
Opportunity is everywhere. Like here, where nothing stands between you and your best friends.
Because of my teeth, I learned to do things from a distance. We just never talked about it.
Having a dental problem is a huge barrier. The love I feel for him, I want to make sure that he was happy.
And that's when we started talking. Then I looked into the dental implant process. Now I had an option.
At Clear Choice, we believe in more of a permanent solution.
There's an alternative to dentures. With Clear Choice, it's a very fine art and science mixed.
Everything is in one facility.
We're able to do all that all in one day. You start the healing process with your teeth.
Now she's smiling and I smile back. And now we connect. That made everything worth it. That was the new beginning for us, for a long, healthy life.
My mom works for Chevy. My dad works for Chevy.
We're all part of the Chevy family. And right now, so are you.
Because our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
Even you.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay, and not a cent more.
Welcome to the family. The Chevy family.
Use your employee discount for everyone to get over $6,000 below MSRP on this Equinox when you finance with GM Financial. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
The best part about being a bath fitter installer is the reveal. Homeowners greet us in the morning and love that we're going to install a beautiful new tub right over their old one without tearing the bathroom apart. But they're never quite prepared for what they get come the end of the day. We call it the wow moment. When they see their new bathtub that's high quality and more beautiful than they could have imagined, I can't help but smile. Since it's Bath Fitter, it's built to last a lifetime. We guarantee it.
Book your free in-home consultation today. Call or visit bathfitter.com.
Missed out on this? Don't worry. The biggest deal is happening right now at T-Mobile. When you buy one of the latest Samsung phones, you get a free 50-inch Samsung 4K TV.
Seriously?
Seriously.
No!
T-Mobile is giving you a free 50-inch TV.
Holy, you gotta be kidding me.
This deal won't last long, so get your free Samsung TV at a T-Mobile store today.
Hi, I'm Gilda Radner, and, okay, now. People want to know what made you funny. From the time I was a kid, I loved to pretend.
She was the very first performer chosen for the cast of Saturday Night Live.
There, Rosanna Dance!
They just loved her.
I basically stole all of my characters from Gilda.
I can do almost anything if people are laughing. It's the story of my life.
Hey, Ma, where's the VOD on your DirecTV?
The what?
The shows, entire seasons, the movies, all on demand. Ma, your Genie isn't even connected to the internet.
I can't afford that.
It's free, Ma. Can you afford free? Hang on. Now you're all hooked up.
Thanks, dear. Hey, when are you gonna hook me up with some grandkids?
Ma.
Get connected to the internet and get more. Hook a mother up. Visit directv.com/connect to learn how.
AT&T Thanks is our way of showing appreciation just for choosing AT&T. Hey, the app won't save the planet from aliens.
But it will get my friend in for free.
It can't make blind dates less awkward.
But it will make paying for them less painful.
It probably won't make you best friends with the lead singer.
But it sure gets you close.
And while the AT&T Thanks app won't download itself, it will give you exclusive benefits, access, and offers once you do. So get more for your thing. Download the app today.
This is CNN, the most trusted name in news.
An officer's actions and the ensuing video now part of this investigation into why New York police officers forcibly yanked a 1-year-old from his mother's arms in Brooklyn. You can hear the 23-year-old mother crying, "You're hurting my son." Officers started to pull this child from his mother's arms when she refused to get up from sitting on the floor inside a social services office. CNN correspondent Jean Casar is with me, and I've watched the video now several times, and it's so hard to watch. But can you just back up for a second? More just context of what was happening at the time?
Right. What are the facts, right? And we are still learning the facts, and there are two divergent sides.
Yes.
First of all, the NYPD says that this event is under review, that is disturbing video, and they want to look at all of the video. They say that it was Friday, a little before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This young woman went to the social services building, and she began to disrupt things, disorderly conduct. She was asked to leave. She did not leave. And there were peace officers there that are an offshoot of the NYPD that asked her to leave multiple times. They say she obstructed a walkway, a hallway. At some point, someone called 911 from the social services agency. The NYPD appeared. They then asked her to leave. She would not. There you have the video as they are trying to effectuate an arrest. Now, on the other side, her defense counsel, which is the Brooklyn Defender Services, just spoke out minutes ago saying that this young woman had lost her child care benefits, and that's why she went to the office to begin with. And they have a story that is slightly different. Listen to this.
She had to take a day off of work to come down here to try to straighten this out. She was down here with her infant because she had no place to bring her infant, and she brought him here so that she could find out what was going wrong, so she could get him back into daycare so she could go back to work. I think a lot of people had no place to sit, and she was sitting on the floor. She was asked to move multiple times. There was no place to go, and the security, I guess, decided to call 911. Now, I agree, of course, that that was the worst option that they could have used.
Now, there are arresting charges at this point, including resisting arrest. She is still in custody at Rikers Island in New York. And Brooke, the question was, why hasn't she been released? Because there is something called bail. Well, CNN was able to confirm that out of New Jersey, that there is a warrant for her based on credit card fraud. And that's why she has not been released. And so New York is working with New Jersey to see exactly where that goes at this point.
Is the baby okay?
Baby is with her mother, yes.
Okay. Jean Gasaris, thank you so much. Thanks, Jean. All right, we continue on this Monday afternoon. You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin. Thank you for being here. I want to begin with the walls really closing in on President Trump and his inner circle, including, for the first time, federal prosecutors are implicating the President of the United States in a felony. And it's all thanks to his one-time fixer, Michael Cohen, and the hush money that he paid to those two women alleging affairs with then candidate Trump. But Cohen isn't the only one causing headaches for the West Wing. There's also Paul Manafort, the former campaign chairman accused of lying to the special counsel 5 different times. Of course, as you know, Manafort denies that, but Team Mueller says no, that they have proof. And CNN has confirmed that at least 16 people, 16, have had some sort of contact with the Russians, despite the president saying this last year.
I have nothing to do with Russia. To the best of my knowledge, no person that I deal with does.
16. CNN senior justice correspondent Evan Perez is with me now. And Evan, so many headlines and so much news just in the last couple of days. You know, just reset for me and sift through those Mueller findings. What are the biggest takeaways?
Well, that's right, Brooke. Everything got a lot more real for the president, for this White House on Friday with a pair of court filings. And let's start with